such a fucking lady.
We live? My pussy not like I know me. Bongo, bongo, bongo. Beat it up. That's gonna be our new. Come on. I like the song. I just don't know the words yet. I know it take me a minute to learn words. Remember what you said about Scrub the Ground, about how it should be released in the summertime?
Early
I feel like I keep hearing everybody say that about
the
bongo song, but I'm like, I do get that concept, but I do feel like sometimes if it's gonna go, it's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do get the concept of like, I don't know, I just feel like lately we haven't been, maybe because we haven't been outside that much. I'm just like, I don't know what the difference would have been.
swore I was outside.
I was outside a little bit this summer.
You were. You did it. You did way more than I did. Yeah, let me see it.
Do that thing, do that thing, do it. And I ain't do none of that this summer. I kept that cute.
No comment.
Tasty.
You did this.
A little watered down.
Your ratio was alright.
Yeah, but my ice melts a little bit. I like mine a little stronger. But I gotta get up in the morning, so we're gonna keep it cute.
Or keep it wet.
On mute. I was like, I don't know what to say about that.
My mama watching it and I don't curse in front of her, so I'm like, I told her, you know what I'm saying, when I start cursing, just.
We got a live studio audience today.
We do.
And they got applause in the background.
Yes.
And our episode is inspired by some of our guests because they are OGs in the game of life.
Yeah.
And they've taught us a lot about life.
Yeah. Thanks. Shout out to you, baby. Yeah. So what have you learned about life? What's your OG teach you?
But ain't broke, don't fix it.
Hey, man.
First and foremost, no. And I mean, when it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, if the game ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
If how men and women operate isn't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
And that as long as you got a pussy, you should never be broke.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Okay? My mama told me that at 16. When your mama tell you that?
I have no clue when she told me that. I don't have no clue when she told me that, but I feel like she always used to tell me like, listen, you in your head about some things you shouldn't be in your head about.
Right.
It's not that serious.
My mother's favorite line was, I had 2 kids and a dog and a car and I made it happen off one salary.
Not the dog.
In New York.
Not the dog.
The dog, she don't never leave the dog out.
Cause that dog won't cheat. And the dog.
Okay, and the dog.
I was taking care of that dog too.
And she was like, and I made it happen.
Yeah.
And so
In New York City.
New York City.
So you should be able to make it happen.
City, you can make it anywhere.
Amen.
I believe that, for real.
Yeah.
I'm like,
To that.
okay, we will.
Okay,
Let's take our shot. Y'all might not be able to hear her on some of the audios, but we're taking our shot. Oh.
Yes.
Wow. Whew. That one went down with a bite.
It was a little warm.
Yeah.
I had put it in the freezer.
I think that how our parents in general, but like how our mothers like looked at like life and relationships is totally different than how we look at things now. And even like some of the conversations that we bring up to them, like their viewpoints, I mean, they understand where we're coming from, but it's like,
Why is this an issue?
Why is it an issue?
Yeah.
They didn't go through this. It's different problems.
Yeah.
It's like a whole totally different like way of life thinking and how like relationships are run. And I feel like now we have so many conversations of online about like splitting the bills and can a woman do what a man can do and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, it's crazy because like years ago,
that was not a thing.
It was a totally different narrative.
Right. Listen, and what I remember, I don't ever remember my mom doing her own shopping. I don't ever remember her barely. She did my shopping, but I don't know. In my mind, it wasn't on her dime because she didn't do her shopping. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just like, we lived a good life, and it seemed so simple. And now it's just like,
it seems simple, but we also don't know like
It's easy.
It was
easy.
easy.
Yeah.
It was easy because it wasn't a lot of complications.
Right, because you didn't get on. You didn't have to
It
get
was
on
an
social
understanding.
media and see.
Not even social media, it just was an understanding of
Yeah.
like
Complex. It was more simple and more just like
Black and white.
straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Now it's complex.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you guys do it a whole different way.
Yeah.
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 Y'all put a whole different spin on it.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all can hear her, but what she was saying was that like back then it was a little more complex.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, a little more
No,
simple.
it was
a little
simpler.
more simple.
Yeah.
And things are more complex now. We have like a whole different spin on like relationships and like relationship
Mindset and
dynamics
stuff.
and like how things like play out. And like a lot of times, what I will say is that like it seems like women have lost their power per se in relationships, and everything is like not even just male driven, but like he has less say, he's controlling everything, he has 15, 20 women, so like your one pussy ain't enough for him, or like I don't know, it's a different dynamic in how things are operated.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like because it's plastered on the internet now, that pussy don't have the same power that it had back in the day. Yeah.
You think the
I feel like
internet?
it's
You
so
think the internet
easy
is
to-
why?
Yes. I
Wow.
feel like our parents didn't have to. They could handle business however they choose to handle business, and they didn't have to worry about somebody getting on the internet and being like, man, this chick just came over here and she asking me for this and she asking me for that, and I don't know. You know, it wasn't that back in the day. It was just like, oh, this is what I need, and this you need to give it to me, and it's just like, okay, go ahead. Now you ask somebody for something, they just like go straight to the internet, run into the internet to tell the internet that now you asking for something, now you need something.
I feel that generation changes have happened, and I'm thinking like maybe in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, you know, the men were overpowering the women, and they had all the say as to what a woman could do and not do.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the 70s and 80s, women started getting more powerful like me.
Right.
You know, the power of the P.
The P.
You
Power
know,
of the P.
we started getting more powerful, and you know, we were running the show, and the men had to just follow.
Right.
And now in your generation, Z, X, and Millennial,
Right.
you guys have just changed the whole program.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things have changed so much, you know, the way
Right.
that you guys dance, the way that you,
Not the way we
the,
did. Not
dancing mainly.
Relationship dynamics.
Okay,
Yeah.
relationships, you know, gender.
My mama was at Black White Week. She can't talk about nobody dancing.
Gender, I mean, everything has changed.
Yeah. I don't think, okay, so for me, I don't know if the internet has changed everything there, because I feel like things were gradually progressing, quote unquote, like because when women were able to work and have jobs and certain things is like end up changing the dynamics of the relationship, right? But I think like when we talk about the power of the P and the question of do women know the power of their pussy,
Uh-huh.
I don't think it has more so to do with the internet and the fact that like once women got to a place of power, some men can't handle a woman in power per se, or making more money than them, or being better off than them, or well off than them. And I feel like sometimes the power of the P was used to not manipulate per se, but it's like, hey, I have this thing and what I have is golden. And I value this and I want you to value this. And a lot of times men were willing to work to gain, you get what I'm saying, access to that thing. And like, even to this day, like some men will do things just of the thought of potentially getting some pussy.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And now I don't think the internet has changed that. I think it's been the women more so being like, I'm not even giving you none because I make more money than you, so I don't need you no more. I don't need you to take care of me anymore. One. And then two, the other side of that is men feeling like there's so many more women in the world that I don't need your P.
Right.
I can get some other P.
Right. Okay, so, and this is my perspective.
Mhm.
So, up until I left college,
Mhm.
the power to pee, and as long as you have that, you should never be broke, or you should never have to pay bills or struggle by yourself. It works for me.
Mhm.
That whole, everything we just explained with my mom, it worked for me, right? And so we were I was about to say post.
Mhm.
We were pre like Instagram and
Mhm.
Twitter and all of that. We were even in college. Instagram didn't come out until 2012. We went to college in 2009. You know what I'm saying? So all of those things worked for me. In college, life was easy. I didn't have to pay for nothing. It was, all I had to do was, you know what I'm saying, dangle this over whoever I'm dealing with head, and it worked. Everything that we just talked about, our moms teaching us, and they told us, it worked. And then, or it could just be here in Atlanta. Because once I moved here to Atlanta, all of those things, they went out of the window.
Okay.
And they didn't work anymore. It was just like, oh, if I say this or if I do this, it's not gonna go over well.
Okay.
And so it was just like, it could just be our location. Now saying it out loud, because in my mind it was just like, it's not working anymore.
What's not working? Because
Being able to deal with a man and be like, yo, listen, I need you to do, this is what I need, and whether I have it or not, just being like, I need this, that, and the other thing, and like, are you giving it to me or no?
Mhm.
It works for me in South Carolina.
Right.
And it works for me in Virginia. But then I moved here, and I'm just like, all right, so I need this, that, and the other thing. And it's just like, it felt like, sis, who you talking to? Like, girl, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
What are we?
But I think the other side of that now is that, like, are you dating men that have nothing to offer you?
I didn't think they did. They came across as they did.
Like, you know, it's a term of like okay, like my parents have money, I don't. Like, in a sense of like, you can be like, oh, my parents are rich, not me. In a sense of like, you dating a man and he has X, Y, and Z, but he has nothing to offer you because he not willing to offer that to you. So like, are you asking for things from people who don't have it who not giving it? You get what I'm saying? Like, is it the wrong person is what I'm saying, the
maybe
wrong
it
situation.
could be, but because I was so used to this certain type of person, in my mind, they all just, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I know the type of men that I like to deal with, and I thought that that's who I was dealing with, and so it should just be as simple as, this is what I need, and you should do it. You know, remember when I first moved down here, I told you, like, I feel like if I'm dealing with this man and we go out to eat, I feel like he's supposed to pay for all our food.
Mm-hmm.
Me, my friends, whoever with us at the table, he's supposed to pay for it. And you was like, if he my man, he supposed to pay for my food, and y'all supposed to handle, you know what I'm saying? Or not that, not even just you.
That's not what I said.
That not you,
Not what I
but
said.
I've heard females say, not you.
Okay.
I didn't mean to say
I'm gonna say,
I apologize. I was wrong. But you know what I'm saying? I've heard females say, that's my man. He shouldn't be paying for none of y'all food. He should just be paying for me and his food, and y'all should handle your own. But you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, it's just like, no, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
We carry the power, and if we all at the table, everybody's food should be paid for, not just mine and his.
Okay.
We all here.
Okay.
And so I feel like once we got here, we definitely, I won't say we didn't meet men who didn't feel that way like we did, but they were also older.
Okay.
They weren't younger.
Okay. So the original, how we really started was about the power of your pee and like how we feel like it's transitioned over time or whatever. What is the power of the pee to you? Like, what does that mean to you? So for me to understand how you feel like dynamics have changed.
The power to pee means, for me, to me, means that I hold the world in my hands or between my legs. And so because I hold this, without me, there's no more babies, there's no more life, there's no more anything. These men can't reproduce by themselves.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so what I have is a great value.
Okay.
And not the Walmart kind.
Okay, I think I need to chime in.
Please chime in.
I need to chime in.
Please.
You gotta speak up, Mom.
You gotta chime in loud.
Let you know
Yeah, be loud.
that you have to have the power of the P and the B now. So the power of the P ain't just working anymore. You have to have the power of the B, which are the brains.
The brains. Okay.
So you have to educate yourself these days, because these guys, they are not stupid no more.
Right.
They know what it's gonna take, and a lot of these guys are not just looking for P, they're looking for P and B.
Right.
They're looking for the P and the brains.
Right.
Okay, so I think these women these days, you know, you guys, you know, you like to go out and party and be loose and, you know, shaking your booty and all of that, but guys are not just looking for that anymore. They're looking for more. So these days, you gotta start stepping up your game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because they're stepping up there, so you gotta learn to step yours up. You just gotta start reading this power. That's where the power is. The power starts in the brain.
I won't even say to piggyback, but also I feel like men these days, I feel like women these days, men are coming off as too strong, and I feel like men
Men
love
are coming
to
off as
save,
strong? Or
no,
women?
women.
Okay.
And men love to save women. They want to feel needed and wanted. And females these days, we come off as strong, independent women, and men don't. They can say they want a strong, independent woman, but men love to save a woman. In their terms, they love to save a bitch.
Okay.
Yeah, they love to save a hoe. They love it. They love it, and they'll be like, "No, I want a strong." Yeah, not all.
But you know what? They don't stay with those women. The women that they end up sticking with are the women that have the brains to go along with the people.
Right. So
They're looking for strong women
yeah.
that are independent. They don't mind the independent
You might,
women.
Mom.
They don't mind the independent women, but they're just taking it to a whole nother level now.
Right. So, for me, my definition of the power of the P is like, the power of the P is not just about like sex or literally the pussy, right?
No.
So I'm saying like, I'm talking about for the audience. So the power of the P is literally, it's not, don't take it as a literal term, right?
Right.
Because it is that, because that's what it is, and when it pop like Coca-Cola, they gonna come back. Be clear.
Cheers me.
But once they come back, it's about building a foundation. So I feel like it's about properly managing the P, right?
I agree with you on that.
So when I asked you the question about like, are you dating the people who have something of value to give you? It's just like, if you're improperly managing the P, then you're not gonna have great results. If you're dating men who spiritually, emotionally, financially have nothing to give you, of course your P is gonna feel like less valuable because you're not giving it to anybody of value. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's also about like managing your emotions, managing everything. Like when I think of the power of the P, it's more so about like moving with grace and poise and knowing like having control over your body and your mind and the men that are around you when you walk into a room. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not just like, oh, I'm fucking him so he can pay my bills. No, it's like I'm creating an energy. I'm creating an experience that he want to be around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When he leaves me, he's still thinking about me.
Right.
I'm making moves in different areas, and whether like everybody looks at things and moves differently. Like now, like women move differently. We all work different jobs. We like different things. So everybody's not gonna give this off the same way. But it's more so just about like an energy that you give. When I say the power of the P, because it's like your pussy ain't powerful if you insecure. When you when you are insecure women and you aren't holding yourself to a certain standard, your pussy not gonna have no value because you're not putting no value on your pussy. On your pussy, anybody can get it. They ain't got to work for it. They ain't even got to give you a meal to get it. So it's just like, what value does it have if you're not putting value on it?
Right. I feel like I felt, I don't even know how to word this. Well, I'll say this. I feel like up until my last relationship, we was on pedestals. We was making it happen, making it shake. And then I decided to choose love over the power.
Can't lose your power in love. Baby.
Yeah, and that's what I did. I lost my power, and it took me down.
Yeah.
And it made me feel, what did you just say? It made me feel like I didn't have the power. It made me feel less than. It made me feel like, is it not giving what it was supposed to have gave?
Yeah.
When in actuality, it gives, and it's still giving. It's the gift that keeps giving.
But you gotta really believe that.
It wasn't
Right.
you.
But, and that was the thing. I thought it was me, and it wasn't me. It never was me. But he did so good at flipping it to make me feel like it was me that I thought I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing.
It was the power of the D that got you.
Right. And once again, the D ain't it was emotional too.
The D.
No, but also it was emotional too. Because at that time, my emotions was being played with too. And it felt like, I love you. You know this is what I want to do. You know this is what. So I won't even say it was just the D. Because the D was good, but was it that good?
But I think the power of the P is like the P is also like player. Like the power of being,
Right.
You gotta know how to play the game. And what all I'm saying is like you've been, not just you. I'm just saying in situations where you're dating men who are manipulative, you have to know when you're being manipulated. So it's just kind of just like you cannot have delusions of grandeur if somebody is showing you minimal. Like it doesn't matter where it started or where you think it could go.
I had never met my match until then.
If you're being shown this, you can't be like, oh, it's going to be this. Like, I don't know, because I always say, right? I'll tell people like, I've been in many long-term relationships, and I always say, oh, I've never dated somebody I wanted to marry. And they be like, well,
you
how?
say that all the time.
You were there 2 years. I'm like, because they never showed me that they were husband material.
Right.
Like, it was great for the moment. Yes, it worked out. Bills were getting paid. Needs were being met. But was you showing me that you could be a husband?
Right.
Probably not. Not for what I'm looking for in a husband. But like, and also like, once again, it's all about like a circle of like life and rotation when you're dating people. So for me, it's kind of just like, if you're being shown this,
You have to stop looking over the red flags. That's When
Yeah.
you see those red flags,
stop looking over the red flags.
Okay.
Don't act like you don't see it.
Yeah.
You need to have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
You can't wait till it gets to the point where you got with him.
Right, but that's also always easy to say, but I was so eager to be in a relationship.
And
So
see, that's the thing.
and so
That's where you lost
prior
your
to that, I hadn't been in a real long-term relationship since
high school.
2012. You know what I'm saying? 2012 versus 2021. Almost a 10-year difference. I had relationships in between them, but none of them were as significant. And so I was just so eager, and I at that point felt like I had my stuff together. I felt like I knew what I wanted, and he was showing signs of the things that I knew that I wanted. And in my mind, some of those things felt fixable. So the power of the P felt like, oh, I got this. I know I can make it happen.
So it's this thing where like, so I was just writing that like, you can date people, right? And it's like, they are the kind of people where you don't even know it, but they're stealing your energy. Like they are, whatever frequency they operate on is not the same as yours, right? And then they come into your life and they suck everything out of you. Your energy, your joy, your beauty. Like do you know how I say that you have a baby, and if it's a girl, she might steal your beauty type thing. It's literally like being in a toxic relationship, so where like you're dating somebody and they're literally stealing your power. You went into that relationship here and then left, you still
depleted.
haven't even
I was
emotionally
depleted,
been able
yeah.
to like. You know what I'm
I
saying?
am not nowhere near emotionally
Yeah.
ready to be in a relationship at
Yeah.
this point. We can have fun, we can play, we can do, but emotionally,
Yeah.
I don't have the emotions to give anybody for a relationship
Yeah.
right now. And I'm very aware of that. But
Yeah.
I also think that people have to be aware of those things, because some people just feel like I can jump out of this relationship into the next, but now you aren't ready. Maybe the person who wasn't ready in your last relationship, but now you're the person that's not ready. And some people don't realize that until they get in these situations. They be like, ooh, I thought I was, but maybe I'm not. And so for me, I recognize before I even get to that step, like, yeah, this really, I thought I was, but we're talking and now I'm not there.
Well, these days you really need to take your time and get to know someone, because there's some really crazy people out here.
Speak up, Mom.
There's some really crazy people out here today, so you really need to take your time and get to know people. This generation is a whole different generation with you guys growing up, and this generation is just, it's crazy. So you really gotta take the time to get to know somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
And don't let. I just think the biggest thing is like, don't let people say your power.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Don't relinquish your power easily.
Yeah. Men can. I think men can definitely tell when you're not
who you
like. Yeah. Like when you're emotionally dependent on them. Like I did. That's the other thing. When I said like the power of the P is also controlling your emotions. Like you need to be able to control everything that happens around you, your body, your aura, and like how you move and operate. It's like you giving up pussy to somebody who don't value you, you're not gaining nothing from it. You just doing it, and then like now you're suck fucking dry. And you know what I mean? Go ahead.
What's crazy is I feel like I've done that to somebody, but also I've also been the elder in that situation, and I knew what I was doing. I knew that I knew that he was in this good aura. His energy was right, and I knew that, and I knew that I sucked it dry. And I know.
And how does that make you feel?
At first it was just like, I needed it. I needed that energy. I needed to regain mine. But looking back and realizing that he didn't realize what happened and he didn't regain his energy, it makes me feel like I said a lot of bad things to this man. And I know I broke him down, and I know that I made him lose a lot of things that he probably felt like he worked so hard for, because he did. And I feel like I just was like, no, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this like this. And because I was older and I felt like I knew better. Yeah, I felt like I had the upper hand, and I felt like, I knew better because I'm older. And so it was just like, no, don't do it like this. You're doing this, and what are you doing? You're writing your goals down, and you're writing them down, and you're going to do what? You want to look at them, and you want to see them, and you want to make them happen? Boo, go do them. Why are you doing that? Now, I write my goals down, and I like to see them, and I like to see them happen.
Yikes, that's harsh.
Because it's just like, oh, you're writing them down, and what are you doing about them? But also, he wasn't doing anything about them. He was just writing them down.
You writing goals that you ain't did nothing about?
I have. But I said, I know that I knocked this. I know that I knocked him down, and
Okay, so I think my question would be, have you grown from that, or do you still feel like that was okay?
No, I feel terrible about it. And maybe I wouldn't feel so terrible about it had he been like, oh, this bitch is crazy. Why would she even say something like this? Like, let me write these goals down and make them happen. Bring them to fruition.
So did you change your approach to it?
Yeah. For me, but does he know that? No, because now we don't even communicate.
Well, he don't really gotta know it. It's more about personal growth.
Right, yeah. For me personally, I would never make anybody feel that little before. Again.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? In that moment, it was just like, why are you doing this? That's stupid. Just do it. And then it's just like, you know, you look back and you're like, damn, like,
Have you learned from that?
yeah, I have. It's just like I feel like, you know, now, yeah, it's like I see where he was going with it, but at the time it's just like, no, just go do it and make it happen. Because in my mind, that's just how it worked. Like, why you write it down? You write it down to do what? Nothing? Okay. Write it down and go make it happen. I've written things down and I'm not making it happen, but I've also written things down and like, now we're here. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel terrible about it, and I feel bad that he hasn't come back from it. And I'm not saying that my words have made him now come back from it, because he's also a grown man. You know what I'm saying? So like, you gotta be accountable for yourself at some point. But I do know that I said some things, and it's just like, golly, me and mutual friends talked about it, and it's just like, jeez, yeah, right.
So we talked about the power of the P, and we also said that's moving with grace. You got to move with grace.
Yeah, and that was not graceful.
Not graceful. Not grateful.
I'm sorry, baby, and I hope you recover. I hope you come back.
I don't know if you mean that.
From the bottom of my heart, I very much so mean that. I hope he recovers, and I hope he comes back from it, because that sucks.
And we're back with Vibes or Nah. And the vibe or nah for this week is pussy more powerful than penis. And what you think? What you think, Dej? Is pussy more powerful than penis?
It better be.
It better be.
It better be.
It's like crack cocaine in the 80s.
Hey, man.
Okay?
They still purchasing.
They still down there on the block. What's it called in LA? When they walking around naked?
Skid Row?
That's not Skid Row. That's what crack is.
Hollywood. It's Hollywood.
No, it's something else. It's another specific name. But they still be walking around out there. Y'all ever seen the video of the guys recording the girls walking around with their little clothes on down there? All I'm saying is,
I don't know. I think it's just Hollywood Boulevard.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Bitches still sell pussy.
Absolutely.
And that's
it
that's
all has a price on
how
it.
many
Whether people gonna say it or not.
How many niggas did get sold, but like in comparison to pussy? You know how many men will pay for pussy?
Let me tell you one thing.
You think dick is more powerful?
I do hair. I do hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I do a lot of men's hair these days because I'm not into doing women's hair. And so I do a lot of basketball players. And by basketball players, I mean overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And those overseas men, oh, you think those overseas women giving it up for free skis? Never.
Mm-hmm.
None of those women overseas is giving it up for free. Ever. They have to pay for it. If they come into your hotel or your apartment or wherever you live in after your games, you're paying for it, whether you want or not. You're paying for it. It's not free.
Ain't nothing free. And with that being said, with 87% of the votes, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe. All the time.
We're gonna stop doing that song. It's a vibe. I hate that song. Please stop. It's a vibe. Okay? Pussy's more powerful than dick.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take it to the
I'm
streets.
gonna say what they're saying.
I'm gonna take it to the streets and let y'all know what the streets is talking about, okay? We got one person that says it's not up for debate. Cause it's not. Pussy is way more powerful than dick. We're not debating about it. We got a dick is a gun, a vagina is the place where life emerges. What is power to you?
Well, how deep are you trying to get?
First of all, I feel like that was you know somebody who's so smart they sound dumb.
Let me see who
This
said
person is so smart they sound dumb.
Okay,
That's all I can say.
Please, can I see?
No.
Did they post it on your page, my page, or our?
Nope, it don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter who said it. But I don't get what that means. Either way, they voted that vagina was more. Either way, they voted that vagina was more powerful than penis, and that's all that matters because that's the truth. But that correlation, what's more powerful? I don't know because a gun can kill you. Well, pussy can't too. Okay. We got. Look how much you can get done if you offer up some coochie. Mind control. Mind control? Okay, yeah. I mean, it's good.
I like it.
Pussy runs everything. Fuck that noise. Drake voice.
Period.
Okay?
And Drake did say that pussy run anything.
Hands down, there's no debate. Pussy run the world.
They do.
Be clear, if y'all have not noticed so far, most people that commented are the people who agree that pussy run things because they got common sense.
And not even surprisingly, but just in general, men.
Okay. Well, most of these women that I've read so far. Okay, but dick is the plug, pussy is the socket. So pussy. Cause baby, you can put any plug into a socket.
Pussy, money, weed.
You got to have
pussy,
the
money,
socket.
weed, pussy. Money,
We got
weed.
dick is dick. Oh no, somebody said this. Oh no,
This dick.
what? He's irrelevant. Dick is dick. So that's what I'm saying. Not reading that. Okay. Can't have life without okay, whatever. Hell motherfucking yeah. It's a portal that tops any penis. Okay? Come on, sis, talk to him. We got because men are more weak for pussy. Women can't go without dick. Facts. Also, because a dick fucks. Well, I don't know what that means.
What does that
I don't know
mean?
what they voted.
Hold on, because I feel like they wrote me in my DM, so let's see what they said
It
in
is-
the DMs.
I don't want to know, cause it sounds because a dick fucks.
Because a dick fucks.
A dick fucks everything. Anyways, so like we said, it's a vibe. Pussy is more powerful than penis. So when we get into the dialogues of being dickmatized and pussy whipped,
Right. So
I feel like being
So
pussy
I
whipped
feel
is more powerful than being dickmatized. Yes, women do dumb things for penis, but men pay for vagina.
they do.
You know what I'm saying? As they should, though. If it's good.
Okay.
If it's good, as they should. But I think we're in an era where, like we said earlier, that it feels like the power is shifting. We may be losing our power. So I want to implore women, literally implore women
You hear her.
to hone in and take a hold of that vagina and take your power back, sis.
Oh my God.
Okay? Like, you gotta know what role you're playing in every situation. So see, there's a way of being independent, but also knowing the power of your pussy. So I always say, like, I want to make my own money because I want to have my own bag.
Right.
But I also don't. I want you to take care of
I'm not
things, right?
independent.
I want to move graciously and through life. I want my life to be easy. I want you to take care of things without me having to ask you to take care of them. There's nothing I hate more than having to ask a man for something that he can visibly see is going wrong or is happening around me. If I pull up to your house and you see my car ain't been washed in 2 weeks, baby, let me get your keys right quick. Where you going? I'm about to go to the car wash and wash your car. See, men don't, like, y'all not even thinking that far anymore. And the thing is, like, a lot of men now are saying that women don't want to be submissive. Y'all don't have nothing to submit to. I can't submit to you because you don't know how to lead.
Amen.
And I've said this on several episodes. If you can't lead, I cannot submit. If you can't go get my car washed because you see it's dirty, I'm not submitting to you.
Okay.
If you see when you walk up my stairs, all the banisters are shaking because the screws are loose because I've been bearing all my weight on it, go get the screwdriver and screw them in without me having to ask you 3 times for 6 months.
Yesterday, Diamond
It's
texted
the bare
me,
minimum.
and she asked me about we're going to homecoming this year. And she was like, what about the wristbands? And I was like, I already paid for me, you and the Tay wristbands. You good. She was like, that's so sexy. I wish you was a man. She was like,
Initiative.
Right,
It's
she
called
was like,
initiative.
just to hear is paid for.
It's
No,
initiative.
it's called a real man.
Yeah.
A real
I
man.
mean, not a real man. That's a woman.
Car doors. A real man knows what you need, whether you need a couple of bills paid. A real man is not going to ask you if you need it. He's going to say, I got you.
I'm gonna give it.
He's just going to
Yeah.
take care of it, okay? My husband, I have to say, I really got lucky this time.
Talk about him. We want to hear about him.
I really
Little
got
loud,
lucky
mama.
this time.
Okay, speak up. Tell us about it.
Doors.
Uh-huh.
My husband calls me and makes sure that I have what I need.
Right.
I came from from Hampton to Atlanta, my flight, I had to stay in Orlando for hours. My husband called me and said, you know what, honey, check and see if there's any other flights going to Atlanta. I'll just pay for you to go. I don't want you to have to sit in the airport all day. That's a man.
Talk
Talk
is cheap.
Okay?
Yeah.
When he comes, before he comes home, he calls me and said, honey, is there anything we need? Do I need to go by the store? It's not many men to do that. I could lay on my couch and my husband will vacuum around me. He washes clothes, he washes dishes. Let me tell you.
Can we, well, hold up. It's not even just about him offering, it's him wanting to do it. Because sometimes people will offer reluctantly and they'll call you. Because I've had people who will come out, you need anything? But they're just doing it because they know what I expect. It's a difference between doing what I expect and
It's just
really wanting to do these
He
things.
was raised the right way.
Yeah.
He was raised to take care of his woman.
Yeah.
Okay, his mother raised him right. I have not run into a bunch of men that act like this man does.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to think outside the box for him because he wasn't really my type. But he was always the one that came to my rescue, that called me and told me he made dinner, come by. You know,
Yeah.
he was just very thoughtful.
He made an effort.
Always thoughtful.
Effort counts.
He doesn't only do it for me, he looks out for my kids whenever he needs to as well.
Yeah.
You know, he is there. That's a man.
Yeah.
He is manly and I love him because he loves me with all his heart.
Yeah.
I just got lucky.
Yeah.
But they are far and few between.
They are far and few.
When you run across one, it's not always the guy that you think is gonna be. It's gonna be the one that you take for granted sometimes. Because those are the ones that we always usually take for granted. The ones that really want to do little things for us, we kind of take them for granted. But you really got to start thinking outside the box.
Right.
Because I had to.
Right.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. Kudos.
Some of y'all can take notes on that.
Okay. All right.
Take an initiative. Deja want to hit the shot. So I'm
Take an
taking this
initiative.
Outside the box. Think outside
Cheers to thinking outside the box.
Think outside the
the
box.
outside the punani.
Come on.
To thinking outside the punani.
And honestly, like, that's real. I feel like I've always been, one thing I'll say, right? I always talk about like my stepfather and like the things that he did that I hated. But everybody said I was his favorite, you know I wasn't his child. So I'll say this. He cared a little bit more and he gave a little more advice, a little more. He told me, he was like, you're gonna make somebody a good wife one day.
Gave you good encouragement.
Yeah. He told me, he was like, he said you're gonna be a good wife one day. And I understood what he meant by that because I'm a loving person.
Right.
But like,
She's
I just
a good woman.
I just remember him telling me like,
That's a good woman.
that's a good woman. But I remember him telling me like, just certain things, even my mom too also, but just certain things to like not expect and like be clear. He was an ain't shit nigga, but he was telling me also like, nah, like, what's your intentions? Like, nah, that's not cool. He ain't do this, he ain't buy this, he ain't pay for this, he ain't take care of this. And in hindsight, I'm just like, oh. He just let me know those things should be taken care of without me even having to ask for that shit.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
My husband, when I met him, 3 months after I met him, he knew that I was a single mother, taking care of my daughter, trying to work it out. When he met me 3 months later, he said, you know, is there any bill or two that I can help you with just to take the burden off of you so you could do more for your children? And I was like, of course.
And don't be scared, ladies.
Yeah, I think that's what we all struggle with these days is being scared to ask for help because we don't want to be blasted across the internet for asking for help. And also,
but you shouldn't have to ask. Is also the point.
Also,
you see your circumstances and you see what I'm going through.
You shouldn't have to ask, but you know what? Closed mouths
Don't get fed. Also.
Closed
Also,
legs don't get
bread.
Hey. You get bread with closed legs.
You
Trust me.
You just gotta gotta
So,
think outside the box sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's not always the guy that you want, it's the guy that you really need in your
Yeah.
life.
The guy that you need. That's a
Say
word.
a lot of.
But you gotta also be open to the
You
guy
have
that you
to
need.
be open.
I know you're not.
I was getting ready to say I am not always open to
I
the guy
wasn't
that I
open
need.
I wasn't open to my husband at first. I was dating a couple of guys, you know, but those couple of guys weren't doing what he was doing.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and it still might have been the power of the P, because you know,
Yeah.
knock it out the box when
Yeah.
you do what you do.
Yeah.
You know, however, you know, you gotta make sure that that guy has your best interest at heart. If
Yeah.
he doesn't
Right.
have your best interest at heart, which I tell my daughter that all the
She
time.
does.
If he doesn't have your best interest at heart, you need to keep it moving, because he's not gonna have your best interest at
Right.
heart going
Right.
forward.
Right.
Right.
It's a
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You want to end on that?
We can.
If he don't have your best interest at heart, he is not going to have
He's
your
never
best.
gonna have it.
Interest
I
at
told
heart
Deja
moving
that
forward.
many days.
Mm.
If he doesn't have your best interest at heart, you gotta keep it moving, because he's not the right one for you.
And you can feel it.
You can.
You know.
You can.
And you said
definitely
about avoiding red flags, that's also your power. It's like knowing, don't be delulu. Don't be delusional.
Knowing when to get out.
To get out. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't waste your time.
Yeah.
You know, don't waste your time on somebody that's not treating you like you should be treated.
Yeah.
Right.
You know that you're the queen, and you should always be treated like one. If he's not treating you like that, then you need to keep it moving. You need to run.
Yeah.
Before I start crying, we
Right.
gonna get up out of here.
Well, y'all, take the power of your pee back, like we said. Manage your pee.
Properly.
Manage your pee properly. Know the value of your pee. Move in grace.
Please.
Exactly. Know the
Okay.
value.
Control
No.
your emotions.
Controlling your emotions.
Don't
is a really
be
big thing.
dickmatized, please.
Please.
Because we're not gonna have the dickmatized conversation again. Cause I ain't gonna keep beating on that horse. But let's not.
You know what I'm saying?
There's so many dicks out there.
It is.
Love
It's a lot of them. Okay.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
yourself.
Love yourself more than you love anybody else.
Yes.
That's it.
Love
Please.
yourself first.
And this has been another episode.
I'm such a fucking lady.
The podcast.
Such a fucking lady.
Peace.